The Cambridge Dictionary definition of someone who is a racist goes like this: someone who believes that their race makes them better, more intelligent and more moral than people of other races, and who does or says unfair or harmful things as a result. A racist. That's what Teal Independent and federal member for the seat of Warringah in Sydney, which, by the way, is nestled nicely along an insular peninsula of spectacular surf beaches crammed with multi-million-dollar homes and a largely non-ethnic wealthy population. Well, that's what Zali Steggall, that local member, has called Peter Dutton, both inside and outside Parliament, including a couple of times right here on Sky News yesterday after question time.
OK, yes or no, do you think Peter Dutton's a racist?
I think he's condoning racist policies.
So do you think he's a racist?
By association, yes.
OK, and Mike Burgess has warned about inflammatory language by politicians. Surely your statement's in the same category. Calling the opposition leader a racist, I mean, that's stirring up a lot, isn't it?
Well, except we're in an extraordinary situation where a person behaving in a racist way should be allowed to do so, but a person calling out that poor behaviour should be reprimanded.
And Steggall again was at it this morning on Good Morning Agenda with Peter Stefanovic.
Do you still believe this morning that Peter Dutton is a racist?
Well, I think it's important to remember what the definition of racism is, and that is relating to policies and rules that result in an unfair treatment of a minority group. So, yes, it is my view that this is a racist policy.
Zali clearly reads a different dictionary than I do. Now, this is all over the opposition leader's sensible and measured call to hold any more visas being issued to Palestinians from Gaza being able to come here because security checks are not being done properly. I mean, it seems pretty sensible to me. Steggall, a former Winter Olympian in skiing, went as fast this morning to call Dutton dangerous.
Peter Dutton is dangerous.
But your term is divisive.
Dangerous with this policy.
Is it not?
But no, this is the term of the dictionary to describe the conduct that is behaved.
Quite an extraordinary performance there. The opposition leader has also pulled the PM up over the selective use of words from ASIO boss Mike Burgess. Have a look.
The Prime Minister made Mike Burgess's words look like they were supporting the position that the Prime Minister gave in question time yesterday. That is that ASIO was checking every person who came through this process. And I think it was a deliberate step, and it is probably the most serious case that you can make against a sitting member of Parliament is that they've deliberately misled the Parliament, but that is exactly what the Prime Minister has done.
Now, Blind Freddie can see what's happening here. None of the Palestinians' granted visas have arrived since last November, but the government, with an election looming and a number of seats in southwestern Sydney up for grabs, want to make sure that the heavily populated Muslim seats believe the ALP is their friend. Now, as cynical as that might sound, that's one reason, and we will look at the general migration question in a moment. It's one reason why Labor continues to boost migrant numbers into your country, which many people believe is one of the reasons driving up inflation. It's also, I'd argue, deeply ingrained in the DNA of the Labor left. Peter Dutton is right to beat the drum about security. I think all of us need to ask a relatively simple question. If these people, as you would be aware, are desperate to flee a war zone, why has a country on the other side of the world become a destination of choice? Now, I can understand it if you already have relatives living here, close relatives, close connections, but if not, why Australia? And you also have to ask the question, why is it that Arab countries in that region, and in Egypt's case, bordering Palestine, and you also have Jordan, a peaceful, economically stable country, why are they not putting their hands up to accept people fleeing a war zone? That Egyptian border's shut. They won't let anyone in. Surely if you had no connection to Australia, parking yourself in the region would make much more sense. Now, on the Steggall scale, that probably makes me a racist, but I'm not. But I do have a simple, common sense approach to immigration. As we did post-World War II, seek out the people who will make Australia a better place, go after young, skilled migrants who want to learn English and work hard and want to embrace the Australian way of life. whatever that means these days. Don't import trouble. Don't import ethnic tensions. Don't import people who want to live off the government and make Australia a safer, richer, better place to live. It's not rocket science and it's not racist.